Okay. There's Minkish. Minkish is sitting pretty still. Welcome to Thursday. I'm rebranding Thankful Thursday to Thank You Note Thursday. Because I was getting bored. I've been doing this for a while now, and it's Can I help you? Please, who are you? Sorry, you don't want to see me talking to my dog about her goobers. Look at her cute face. Look cute her face. Ooh. Okay, Sanders, Mom. You try to escape. Uh-oh. Here comes again. He can't be escaped. Come up here with Mommy. Yeah. She's too big. She doesn't do the leap up into my lap thing like Finn does. He's much smaller. He's like a cat. Welcome to Thursday. Welcome to Thank You Note Thursday. I would like to do this a little bit differently than I have in the past, which is I used to just come up with one thing that I was thankful for, and I would talk at length about it. And it ended up just being a place for me to talk about myself, which is like not what Thank You Thursday is really for. I hope my husband's not on a meeting. I think he was, though. Hey! Little Fifi! Little Fifi doesn't have it. Here he is! Hello, there he is. Ooh, I could always trust him. Always trust him to come. Ooh, okay, so this is a good way to introduce Thank You Note Thursday. So how this is going to work is I have three things that I've ahead of thought that I'm thankful for. And I will come up with, I will talk about them briefly, each of them briefly, and why I'm thankful for them. But then I will write a thank you note to the person that makes the most sense to write a thank you note for being thankful for that thing. Today, unfortunately, like the things that came to mind were all sort of like things that are hard to send thank you notes to people about, but I'm still going to try because that's what this is about. This is about, I'm not just thankful. I want to express my thanks to people. Oh my goodness. This is just sweetie. So the first thing I put in the chat, I put a link to a poll that you can take. That is sort of a spoiler alert. It tells you the three people that or the three things I'm thankful for, and the three people that I could write a thank you note to. And I'm going to go over those things. And at the end of this, I will write a thank you note. And if you are in the chat, you can help me. You can give me ideas of things to say or how to find the person I need to thank. But yeah, please take the poll. If you don't take the poll, I don't have an answer. And then, like, this whole thing is supposed to be way more interactive than it ever is because there's only ever one person watching. But I'm hoping by making a poll that does not have to be interacted with on stream that we can do this together. Maybe in the future I will set the poll ahead of time, many days ahead of time. And then I only just thought of this last night or yesterday. I guess it was yesterday because I was talked about a little bit on my stream yesterday. But anyway, first thing I want to talk about, since he's here, is I am thankful for the person who abandoned my dog. Ooh. So Finn, we rescued Finn from, oh my goodness, he's just so cute. He's just nuts, he's snuggle. We rescued Finn, or we got him at a rescue, and he was a, what do they call it? Are you licking Minkus right now? You're disgusting. You're so gross. Stop. Leave Minkus alone. He was a surrender. He had been surrendered with his mother and his sister by someone who allegedly was like moving into a place that wouldn't allow dogs. And I've talked to a couple people about this since then, and they all suggest like there's at least a non-zero possibility that was not the case, and that was just either what the rescue told me or what they told the rescue, but not really what was going on. Because Finn has some issues, and so luckily, at least so far as we have known, not any health issues that are sad or are expensive. But he pees like just at the slightest provocation, and he's so scared and such a nervous little Nelly. And so it's possible they had him for a year, or at least well, no, they probably had him for a year because they had his mother, and he was a year old when we got him. But anyway, he had been surrendered. He parts Shih Tzu, and the only way we think that is because we saw his sister, and his sister looks like a Shih Tzu, but he does not really, except his hair is like sort of like I don't know what to do with it. Anyway, so I would like to thank the person who abandoned him because there's a lot of different reasons that someone can abandon a dog. But one of the reasons that they could do it is just they didn't think that that they could take care of him anymore. And they made the decision, which is not actually a popular decision in Texas. They made the decision to surrender him to a rescue rather than just let him out into the world or kill him or try to find somebody who will take him, which is always like hit or miss. So they surrendered him instead of sort of letting him think for himself. And although he was so scared, and it was so sad, and eventually allowed him to come to us. So, and he's so cute. And he loves to snuggle. My other dog does not love to snuggle. And she will snuggle. And she's got much more interested in it ever since we got Finn. But he is always up for a good snuggle. You can literally just look at him the right way and he'll be like, snuggles? Yes. He's very loving. And so he has been, and also with the pandemic and the quarantine and everything, it has been a godsend to have two dogs instead of just the one, because the one dog would have definitely eaten our faces by now. She's just too energetic. So I want to thank the person who surrendered my dog. They made the right choice because now I have him. So that's one person I could thank. The second person I could thank is a person who is responsible, whoever is responsible, it could be a group of people, probably is a group of people, who is responsible for NASA's website, Astronomy Picture of the Day. Then now you could go to that, I think it's called apod.gov. Let's see, real quick. NASA.gov, that's what it is. apod.nasa.gov. And it is just like, it's a very simple website. It's just like straight up HTML. I feel like the title is like everything is in Times New Roman. It's very simple. And there's just a picture, but it's updated every day. And the pictures are so cool. Sometimes they are like legit astronomy pictures, like pictures taken by a telescope or through a telescope in space, or of some, something taken inside or of the International Space Station, or something taken by a rover or a probe. What was Voyager? Is it Voyager? The Finley sent off. I don't remember. I call them probes because like that's what they are in Star Trek. But so if you go to NASA's Astronomy Pictures of the Day, Astronomy Picture of the Day, it is super interesting. I love the pictures. I use them as desktops on my computer. I actually cycle through them. I collect the ones that I like the best, and I save them in a folder on my computer. And then I have my computer. I set my background to be a slideshow of those pictures. I actually have that folder on a Dropbox. So no matter what computer I'm on, like I have a few computers in my life, like with work and everything. I have a few computers and I have access to those photos everywhere. So I have some of them on my work, saved on my work computer as well, so that I can have them in my background on my work computer as well. So and they are just beautiful pictures, and I love space in a light, amateur, nerdish sort of way. And so I think the A-pod is like the best way to be amateurly nerdy about space. It's like no commitment whatsoever. You don't have to know anything, but you do tend to learn things by, like, especially if you actually go to the website. Like I have a thing that downloads the pictures. But if you actually go to the website, they'll explain what the picture is, and sometimes it's like super interesting and like not a cool picture, but like a cool concept. So I highly recommend checking that website out regularly. So I would send a thank you note to the people who either came up with it or who manage it. And they actually have that on, yeah, they have the editors listed on the website. So I could possibly I could possibly send that to a specific group of people. I'll do that. Cool. Now, the third one that I put was the person who invented the Beyond sausage. Now, Beyond sausage, oh, I forgot to share this with this. Yeah. Oh, little Fifi. Little Fifi. Oh, little Fifi. Oh, I know. Oh, I know, I know, I know. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. I know. I know. Oh, my goodness. That's the fun thing. I call him 50. 50. He thinks it's 50. It's basically. Oh, it's getting up, buddy. Oh, well, I'm struggling with this whole technology. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, sorry, I had to take a little break there. So, the person who invented the Beyond sausage. Now, I know there was a group of people who did this, but it's a company now, so I could send it to the company. Now, the reason I want to say thank you to them is because I've eaten many Beyond sausages this week. So, Beyond Sausage, for those of you who are not aware, is Beyond is a meat alternative company. Actually, I don't know. Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat is the name of the company. They are plant-based meat products. And they make burgers and sausage and breakfast sausage. Burgers and brats, Italian sausage and breakfast sausage. At least that's only the only things I've experienced. In fact, I'm gonna go slam a jamma some breakfast sausage here in a minute. I'm done with this because I'm very excited. I just bought them, and I love breakfast sausage. Because the thing about breakfast sausage, I mean, this is a tangent, the thing about sausage that I always loved, even when I ate meat, was like the seasoning. Like that's the important thing about sausages is the way they are seasoned and how that interacts with the other things that you put in them, or where you put them with. Oh man, McDonald's had a Beyond Burger trial, and they ended it. McDonald's betrayal. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. Sorry, I'm also gonna. I'm so distracted right now. Yeah. What am I saying? Words I'm saying. Words. Yeah. So they use primarily, I believe, I'm going to get them a little bit confused with Impossible Burgers too. I love both of these companies and sort of like concepts. Obviously, as a vegetarian, who yeah, obviously as a vegetarian, I obviously as a vegetarian, I love to pretend I'm eating meat. That's not what I mean. But I love the concept of both of these companies strive to not just like make meat alternatives for vegetarians and people who already are interested in them, but who are trying to make meatless meat cool and accessible and taste good, especially Impossible, so that people who already eat meat are interested in trying this thing for vegetarian reasons. I have a lot of reasons for being a vegetarian, but I understand that a lot of people don't either want to go vegetarian or have those same like belief systems, I guess, that cause me to want to do it. Or I also know that for some people it's nutritionally not like a great choice. So these concepts of like let's make meat alternatives accessible to people who otherwise wouldn't choose them. I really like that. And I've eaten a lot of Beyond sausage this week. I had a breakfast burrito the other day. Well, I made breakfast burritos for dinner on like Tuesday or something because I accidentally broke an egg. And so then I was like, I have to use this egg. And just like in my head, I put together a quick breakfast burrito dinner, and then in my house, put together a quick breakfast burrito dinner. And then I had the leftovers of that the next day. And then I am also about to have some breakfast burrito, or not breakfast, but some Beyond sausage, breakfast sausage. And pepperoni was my favorite kind of pizza. Sausage pizza was never bad. Hot dogs are my favorite. Holy cow, I haven't had, there's a hot dog place nearby that makes hot dogs with the Beyond brat. And it's so good. It blows my mind. I love hot dogs way more than burgers. I've always loved brats more than burgers. And so I'm really thankful to Beyond Meat for giving me a way to have those things while still maintaining my vegetarian lifestyle, which I do. I don't really have an issue with being a vegetarian. There's very few times where I'm like, oh, I really wish I wasn't a vegetarian. In fact, I don't think there's any time that I've ever thought that specifically. And so it's nice that I can still have these things that I like, without having to, like, yeah, it's just nice that I'm still able to have those things that I like while still being vegetarian. I appreciate that. So I have now spent 20 minutes talking about these things, and I hope you will have taken my poll that I have shared like 20 minutes ago. So a quick turn on here. But those are the three people: the person who abandoned my dog, the people in charge of NASA's astronomy picture of the day, and the person who invented the Beyond sausage. And I will send a thank you note. The reason thank you note is my choice here is because I sort of, for a while, I collected postcards. My thank you notes for my wedding were postcards too, but I don't want to send those, and also I don't know where they are. But they're just like my things, so I don't want to send them. But I have Star Wars and DC Comics postcards. I also have these ones, which are sort of like quarantined because they have glitter on them. But they're vintage London ones. I think I got them as a gift, maybe. I also have a lot of really cool stamps. And I have just like regular cards too. I'm gonna have to like do a little bit of searching because I couldn't find. I couldn't find all of the things, all of the cards that I know I have. But I sort of hurriedly put this together at the last minute, like you do. And sorry, I got something over there. And so I want to send an actual thank you note, and I will write the thank you note here. And if I think it's possible to find the address and share it online, for instance, with the APOD people, I will address it and stamp it right here so that I'm going to send it, because ain't nobody wasting 37 cents or, 50 cents or whatever, or forever stamp is if I choose to go with a card instead of a postcard. I have a lot of postcard stamps too, still left over from the wedding, which was 6 years ago. So, 6 years ago this weekend. Oh, interesting. Yes, my 6-year wedding anniversary is on Sunday. Congratulations to me and my husband. I don't know what just happened. I apologize for that. All right. Hopefully the poll is taken. Ooh. Okay. I do not know how many people took the poll. But it is a unanimous response. And I'll leave the poll up because I'm interested to see if it changes at all. And I can't show it to you, unfortunately, as is, because there's no way to like share this. This is weird. I just want to see my poll. Where did it go? It left. It left. Here we go. Maybe this. Okay. That didn't help. I don't want it. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is. Okay, so 4 people took it, and all 4 people answered that I should send the thank you note to NASA's astronomy picture of the day. So, who better to receive a Star Wars postcard than the people who work at NASA? I'm sure they love Star Wars. That is how that works. Okay, so these are all vintage. Some of them are covers of old Star Wars comics, Star Wars Extended Universe books. Yeah, some of them make reference to the prequels, and some of them are before the prequels. So this is obviously Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I gotta pick one now. This is just a fun font that this one has. Look at that. Sergio Aragones's Stomps Star Wars. Okay. Knights of the Old Republic. The Phantom Affair. Dark Lords of the Sith. Okay, this one's in Star Wars Tales. I thought it was in a different language, but it's not. So Star Wars Tales. If we stay in orbit like this any longer, we will be too late to save your friends. But if we make a move, the Mandalorians will blow us out of the sky. Murder most foul, Boba Fett. Still feeling high and mighty, Princess Leia. Talking to a stormtrooper. Oh my goodness. The last stand of the Jedi. There's a woman Jedi who's lost a hand and been stabbed through the heart with a lightsaber. That's intense. None of this is really looking like a thank you card. You know what I'm realizing here? Some of them are very silly. R2, I don't care if the odds against our escaping are 25,215 to 1. Just keep running. R2 doesn't run. She's got wheels. Oh, this is a Star Wars anime. Look at that. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm not really seeing a lot of contenders here. Luke Skywalker, Pariah. Rebellion, Star Wars Empire's End, Shadow of a Dark Lord. A lot of these. I was just trying to find one that had like an interesting cover or like an interesting subtitle, because you know these are mostly General Kenobi. It's Grievous. Sorry, you're not a Star Wars person. You know what I'm good at this. Okay, I think what I will go with, hear me out, is this one, where it's Rogue Squadron's first mission. So these are people from, which, is it from the 4th movie or the 5th movie? That, because I recognize these two fellas. Is it the ones that I recognize? Yeah, I think it's these 3 fellas that I recognize, maybe. There's people from the movie. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. Dark Horse Comics, which is interesting. I know someone who works at, or used to work at Dark Horse Publishing. I wonder if they were right. If they were the same. If they were the same company. Anyway, so now I shall write a thank you note to the website for APOD lists authors, and editors. And it has 2 people. Then it says there's a NASA official. specifically. So the authors and editors work at colleges, universities, namely, what, Michigan Tech? Yeah, Michigan Tech, and what's this one? University of Maryland. So I could write thank you notes to those professors or staff or whoever they are. Or I could write a thank you note to the NASA official. You know what? I think I'm going to write a thank you note to the NASA official. Sending mail to NASA. No. Send a letter. Send a letter to NASA. Your kids can get mail from NASA astronauts. That's interesting. Contact page, nasa.gov. Authors receive thousands of communications each week from all over the world, and we endeavor to provide timely information and answers to questions. However, we encourage you to use the NASA website for finding information you're seeking or answers to your questions. If you have questions for a particular center, please click on the link below. If you are not able to locate the information you're seeking on the website, you may write to us at this. Okay, so there is a NASA headquarters thing, so I'll just say attention to this person at this address. And it may not make it to them. Can't guarantee it. But now I need a pen. I had one in here, but then I covered it up with all of these cards. Here it is. Pen. Okay. First of all, the one person who was watching my stream a second ago, are you still here? Yes. Hey, how you doing? Do you have any suggestions on how I should word this? Thank you. You do. Like in the live chat section. This person's name is Phillip Newman. So, dear Phillip Newman, and it's June 25th, 2020. A quick bit.ly link. Just want to shorten this. Okay, dear Phillip Newman, I want to thank you. I'm gonna write this in all caps and a little all caps thing because I can make it smaller that way. My cursive gets big. I want to thank you for the work you do on the apod.nasa.gov site. It has brought me a lot. I'm going to use a lot, even though I wouldn't normally say a lot. I don't say much, but it doesn't sound like a normal person because I don't sound like a normal person, so I'm saying a lot. Brought me a lot of joy and wonder over the years. I use many the pictures as desktop backgrounds. I also, there's a app called IFTTT. I always forget how many T's there are, but it's if this then that IFTT. If this IFT then that TT. So IFTTT. And I have it lets you like set like little widgets that it's hard to explain, but I have an application on my phone that I made through IFTTT that automatically finds the next APOD from the day and downloads it, uses as my phone's wallpaper and lock screen when it is a picture. If it's like a video or something like that, I can't do it. But if it's a picture. So this is actually, oh, that's a podcast I don't see too. You can't really see it because like you can see this is today's picture. I think it's today's. Oh no, it's yesterday's. That's okay, because that happens. Oh no, it's not yesterday's. What? How is work? How is life? Yes, it is today's. Yeah, it is today's. Because it changes it at like really early in the morning, because that's just like how computers do, you know. So sometimes they haven't changed it by that time, but they had today, so that's nice. I use many of the pictures as desktop backgrounds and have learned a lot from the blurbs, the captions. The captions, that's a quick way of saying it. From the captions you post. Thank you so much. And then I'm going to be really self-serving, and I am going to put the YouTube URL for this video because why not? You know, I don't even know this is going to get to them. Okay, so YouTube.be/RTU. I don't know if it's an L. DKWCRHY. Thank you so much. From Mary Margaret. Margaret. In Texas. Okay, and then I'll add the address that I found on this webpage. First, what is his name? Oh, the dog's going crazy. His name is Phillip Newman. Oh, I wrote it at the top of the post. I was done. Phillip Newman. Attention. Phillip Newman. Wish I could stop turning my M's into A's by accident. I don't write in all caps very often. I lost the website. There it is. NASA. NASA headquarters, 300 East Street Southwest. Suite 5R3 0, Washington, D.C. 20546. Okay. All right. So this is the postcard, and this is the front. Now, the reason I chose this one is because these people look like astronauts. The pilots in Star Wars remind me. Well, for instance, I don't know which direction this should go because I don't remember. Battlestar Galactica probably came out after Star Wars, right? I don't know, but the pilots in Battlestar Galactica remind me of the pilots in Star Wars, and the pilots in Star Wars look like real pilots to me. The costuming, I mean, and I imagine if we had space-faring vessels like the X-wings that were both, it could be both in space and in atmosphere, I guess. Their pilots would look something like this. And so I appreciate that, but they also sort of remind me of astronauts. I don't know, orange is an astronaut thing, right? I don't know. So hopefully, Mr. Newman, if you do end up watching this, that's why I didn't want to send you one with Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt. I didn't want to send you one with the Hutt on it because I thought that would be rude. It's not a very good way of saying thank you. So I will send this. I will put my 37-cent stamp on here. Ooh, let me double check. Make sure that 37 cents. Postcard stamp cost 35 cents. Oh, it's gone down since I last sent postcards in 2014. Okay. And that, my video went long today, but I'm going to check back into the poll. Oh, the person who abandoned my dog got a vote, but not enough votes. Yeah, and I think next week I will post the poll earlier, so that I have more of a collection of votes in time for my Thursday one. All right, make good choices, don't do drugs. Have a good Thursday, and I'll see you tomorrow for Flashback Friday.